And then one day later, Chris, of course, was the offensive tackle coming in. And if I butcher his name, Manasse Itete.
It's Manasse Itete.
There we go. Manasse Itete out of Modesto, California. So for as impressive as the Leicester commitment is to go out to California to reel in a top 10 offensive tackle from California, that shows a lot.
Absolutely. And then, you follow the next day, which is not a high name. This young man's only been playing, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's Todd, if I'm not mistaken. But we just landed a 6'6", 315-pound offensive lineman as well. And a lot of people are worried about he's a 3-star and all this other stuff. The young man's only been playing football for a couple of years, and his star ranking is going to raise tremendously this season. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he's a high 4-star by even really the beginning of the season, 2 games in maybe. Coach Atkins is listening to what Florida State is wanting to do. And what I mean by that is I don't think this is the last flip from USC coming to Florida State, if that bears with anyone. There's another Zamadella is also committed to USC, and I think Florida State could potentially flip him back over to us. He never verbally committed to us, but he was high on Florida State. And I think it's kind of the same story as it was Manasse. So we'll see. I think Florida State is going to have a lot of shockers that people aren't expecting over the next couple of months.
George, anything to add on the recruiting front?
Yeah, no, I totally agree when it comes to Jaden Todd, the 6'6", 315-pound offensive tackle that Alex Atkins just got the commitment from. Like Chris said, when it comes to star ratings of all the positions, when it comes to offensive tackle at the high school level, it's just near impossible to really get a good read on those guys and frame, and just the ability to hold the necessary weight and athleticism is really just kind of what holds that down. And he's got it in spades. I mean, 6'6", 315 is just a freak. That's your prototype left tackle. And if Alex Atkins wants him, and like Chris said, he hasn't been playing long, that's a huge pickup. And I'll, do one better. I agree about Jason Zondamala. Him and Manasse they were pretty much, I thought that was going to be a pair to come in together. Didn't end up happening, but if we can land Bolden this weekend, I'll do you guys one better. And I think his big guy that he'll be after is going to be Jeremiah Smith. And I'm not sure where I would put that at right now, the percentage. I know he's been to campus 8-9 times, but if we can get Bolden, I feel like it might go to 60%. We can get that flip for Jeremiah Smith and really put this class over the edge ahead of my projections. I was thinking we were going to be somewhere in the 5 to 10 range. I envisioned 7, 8. But man, if we can keep this thing rolling like it is, that number 3, number 4 position is right there staring us in the face.
We just dropped the link in the chat to Spear Addicts. Chris, I wasn't subscribed. My apologies. I assumed I was subscribed. So you just picked up a subscriber from me. So
thank you.
I just assumed that I was. Should have done that a long, long time ago. And again, thought that I did. So get on over to Spear Addicts. The link is in the chat. The Renegade Report, we will supply that link in the chat as well. Get on over there, check out George's work as well. George is going to join us each and every Florida State game for post-game right here at the Voice of College Football. So we appreciate George jumping on board with us. The guys went to camp when? Today? Was today number 1?
I believe tomorrow is going to be day number 1. Today was your preseason luncheon kickoff thing. All the coaches and assistant coaches did their media today.
Is today the 2nd? Yeah. So today was first team meets. It was the kickoff. Pretty much the itinerary was given. Everyone knows their workouts. They all know what they're supposed to be doing now. Tomorrow is the first official day of actual football, so to speak. I think it's going to be a lot of bleacher running personally, but something that I don't give enough credit to, and I keep forgetting about it because I had so much fun doing it. And once you're done with something, you kind of move on to the next thing. So you don't talk about what you did, you talk about what you're going to do. But I want to give a huge shout out to the Lake Sumter Seminole Alumni Club. They had me there as a guest speaker with Coach Amy Bond. She's the men's and women's golf coach, one of many. She was there. We had a huge amount of people come in to that, and it made me feel really good. I'll put it this way. Beyond her, there were multiple people that came up to me afterwards and told me how great the speech was and all this stuff. And I'm going to tell off on myself for the first time. I told George, but I guess publicly this is the first time I'm telling off myself. I had completely forgot that I was supposed to be there that night. And luckily, Virginia, the lady that wrote me, she said, "Hey, just making sure you're still coming tonight to speak." And it was about 3:30, and the place was about an hour from me. I was supposed to be there at 5. So I literally threw on every Florida State make sense possibility I could on, jumped in the truck and hauled rear into them. Had no speech prepared. Everything was off the top of the head. But it was an amazing time. Everyone said it was the most informative speech that they've had in quite some time. And I did it for over an hour, and everyone said that they have not been that intrigued, especially for an hour, to be able for me to keep their attention span. That was absolutely amazing. But I want to give a huge shout out to all of them for welcoming me, making me feel like I've been there for years. The food was great. The whole event was really nice. So just a huge shout out to the Lake Sumter Seminole Club.
You're going to be the president of that school someday, aren't you, Chris? The way things are going?
My dream, and I'm being completely honest with people, and I know that a lot of fans are going to come against this and a lot of people are going to use it, but my dream would be the athletic director of Florida State one day. That would be something that, it's pretty much what I do with my job now. It's just I don't do it for a university. But it's what I do in the same reference of what an athletic director would be doing. I'm not saying that I'll ever get there, but if you had a dream, then that would be mine. But I think that Florida State, the coaches, the athletic director now, President McCullough, all of them have welcomed me like I've been there for years. And it's wild because all I did was start a Facebook page one day. And it's moved into I'm going to start playing golf with Amy Bond at some point, the coach that I just met. I've never wanted to play golf a day in my life until now. Coach Fuller and Coach Norvell have been extremely open to talk to me. Coach Atkins, for them to write me without me writing them, for them to say something to me first, it means that I know that I'm not pestering anyone. For them to just say, hey, how's it going, Chris? Watched your last episode. It was awesome. Continue to do what you're doing. For them to approve of what I'm doing and to say that it's making a difference in what these young men and young women are doing or seeing. I take it back. I'm kind of already living my dream, but if I had to make it just put icing on the cake, it'd be something like that.
I can see it. I wouldn't be surprised. The only thing I ask is that we get full access.
Oh, absolutely.
Or some level of access. We want coaches' interviews.
With everything that's going on, Mark, which, as in you as well, we've been waiting on this. We've been waiting on the last step of everything with Savage Sports and everything. And Florida State's fully aware of everything that I'm doing. They're fully aware of everything that we are doing. And, they're behind us all the way. They're 100% on board for what we're doing. They like the idea of everything that I've thrown in there. Like, I would love to be able to show every fan, like what they're doing with the episodes of Climb, but from a different measure of view. Seeing the locker room, seeing what the coach's life's like, stuff like that is things that I've thrown their way and ideas, and they love every bit of it. So as soon as this stuff's done, we'll be there.
Awesome. Well, somebody's nominated me for president, but I'm good with what I'm doing right now. Just a little bit more access. That's all we ask. We'd love to be able to talk to any coach in America. That would be tremendous. That
We
would
all
be a good
got
step
to,
there.
y'all both got us a supporter right here. If we can get you at president and Chris at AD, I'd be a happy camper. No doubt.
Appreciate y'all being here at Florida State Seminoles Live. We do this each and every Wednesday. Yeah, we took a couple of weeks off, but that was at the best time that could possibly happen. So we're geared up for the rest of the season here at the Voice of College Football. And again, keep in mind that we've got channels all over the place, including starts with the main channel and what we do over there. If you're not aware, just look up the Voice of College Football on YouTube. I think you'll be able to find it. Again, we dropped the link to Spearatics with Chris, and Chris goes live every Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern time. Renegade Report, help out George's cause. Give him a sub as well. Renegade Report. The link is in the chat.